Welcome and welcome back to Ninth House Intuition. This is your new moon total solar eclipse in Leo collective reading. And I want to start off by saying the energy is very specific and very intense and just absolutely wild. The synchronicities that have come up in this reading are insane. Okay, so this will resonate with a lot of people despite the specificity of it all. But just before we get into the reading, let's just go through the themes here because wow. Okay. With your eclipses, this is all about wrapping things up, ending things that need to be ended, but also seeding things to transpire over the next following 6 months to a year. So there's a lot around what is ending here with this eclipse that is seeding a new fated karmic path for the collective. This is powerful. I've got, and I'll put a picture up, I've got a lot of stormy energy, upheaval, a specific situation that is going to be a catalyst for you coming into a realization around what it is that you need to do next, who you are, what it is that you want, and what is now outdated and no longer serving a purpose. This particular reading is centered a lot on validation and releasing the need for approval from people outside of you. It's releasing the notion that you need to follow or to do what other people expect of you. And in the process, denying your own authenticity and your own integrity and taking your own fated steps and making decisions in your own life. This is a reading about shedding, okay? This is about releasing. This is about a death, and not a literal death, I hope not, but a death of who you were and a mindset that you had in order to release yourself from some kind of bondage. There's an energy here where you have repeatedly, and I think you're going to be coming into this knowledge with the eclipse, what you have been repeatedly making decisions against your own good. You have been living up to a stereotype or an archetype or a belief that you don't hold directly. This could be like a cultural belief. This could be just a societal belief. This could just be like an expectation or a belief from your family, your friends, who people think you are, who you led people to believe you are, and who you are either no longer or maybe you never were. This is a complete shedding around all of this. This is an ego death, okay? I can't put it any plainer than that. It is an ego death. But what comes out on the other side is something so wholesome, so authentic, so true to who you are and also who you're supposed to become. It is really beautiful. So with that being said, let's get into the reading. So guys, we're looking at here the overall energy of this collective reading, and we do have upheaval, but we also have with this upheaval, whatever this situation is, this event, this catalyst, what it does is it causes you to see and to have a new perspective on something or a new perspective on what you should be doing or where you should go next. There's some kind of knowledge that either you're coming into or something that you may realize through your own clarity that is letting you know that upheaval in order to get where you want or to get what you want or to move forward in any way is inevitable. You may have denied it. You may have procrastinated on it. You may have missed opportunities because you didn't want to cause this upheaval. But there's a realization that actually it is inevitable and it is necessary. Otherwise, I'm going to stay stuck where I am. There is an emphasis here with the energy of you needing to free yourself. And for a lot of you, for a while, there has been an energy where you have not felt free, where you have not felt free to make decisions in your best interest. You have not felt free to take the roads and the paths less traveled or that you'd like to explore. Leo energy is heavy here. We've got the Leo card of I Will. This is an oracle card. We've got the Moonology card, Full Moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. But the other energy that I was surprised to see that is strong and keeps coming up again and again is Sagittarius. So from the Black Moon Astrology card deck, we've got the Sagittarius card I See, which is a very expansive energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, but it's all about knowledge, realizations, and maturity in thinking and mindsets. We've also got the Black Moon Lilith deck here, and we have the Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius card that flew out, Free Yourself. So lots of Sagittarius and lots of Leo here. Looking at the color of these cards, I can't deny there are activations here that are happening with your crown chakra and your solar plexus chakra. Okay, so this is your mind, your head, and your will, and your get up and go, your energy to pursue things. So there are activations here. The other side of this is that you may also be seeing this play out in your personal birth charts. So check out if you have placements in Sagittarius or Leo. This is going to be activated by this eclipse, this total solar new moon eclipse. And also, we know that collectively what is happening in the sky at the moment, we have the South Node in Leo, which is going to be conjunct the solar new moon eclipse in Leo. So a lot of this is getting you to release a lot of old programming and old conditioning, okay, around who you're supposed to be, who you were told you needed to be, the persona that you created for yourself, the self-validation that you've been seeking, the approval that you've always sought after as well, the ego that may have driven all your decisions, the appearance of things, the way things look to other people, trying to impress other people. And this could be in any area, but I would definitely look towards where you have Leo to look at what areas of your life this will be transpiring. And then with Sagittarius, we don't have any planets in Sagittarius at the moment, but we do have Uranus in Gemini, which is opposing Sagittarius. So if you do have any planets in Sagittarius, that will be activating your Sagittarius house throughout the Uranus transit, which is 7 years long. So, Sagittarius is key. You may have a Sagittarius rising, whatever it is. I would say there is an opportunity here when we do move towards Sagittarius season for a trine here between Aries, Sagittarius, and the South Node and Jupiter in Leo. So there will be a trine. So, if we're thinking about timing around how the time that it takes things to play out, we could see more of this continue throughout or coming to a close or whatever it is towards Sagittarius season, which would be around end of November to mid-December. Okay, so got the timing out of the way, got the zodiacs out of the way. Let's get into the reading. So we're looking at what must end, a cycle that is reaching a completion. And we had the King of Swords and the Ten of Cups. This is somebody who has been completely overthinking, being overly analytical about their own happiness, around what makes them happy. Now, the reasons why you may have been doing that, collective, are going to be different for everybody. But you have been second guessing, overthinking, trying to strategize how to do something, and you've really been tied up in knots about it. And it's caused you to not live in your truth, okay? And to not take certain paths, to not take certain risks, to not embark on new opportunities. You will be releasing that by force or by choice, this eclipse, okay? Any identity that you may have been familiar with that you are no longer resonating with, that is going to come to an end. Any familiar patterns that have reached its natural ending around identity, around overthinking your happiness or choosing your happiness, that is coming to an end. Okay. Now, the performed self, where have you been adapting, performing, or managing how others see you? Now, this is so interesting. We've got the Two of Wands clarified by the Four of Cups reversed. You have kept yourself at a crossroads, not making certain decisions. In fact, two sides to this. You've not been making certain decisions, and or the decisions that you've been making have deliberately been decisions that are unsatisfactory to you. It's been decisions where you have missed opportunities because you've chosen other people over you in some regard. Now, this could be to help other people, to be of service to other people, to impress other people, because it's what people expect of you, all these different Leo-esque things. But this is changing. The performed self, making choices that you are not happy with and missing opportunities, is what is coming to an end as well around your performed self. So you will no longer be identifying with that aspect of your nature if that resonates. The third thing that this eclipse is ending is the approval attachment. Okay. There is this, and this is a Leo energy. I'm not saying it's all Leo placements, but it's a Leo energy. It's in the archetype. And obviously we are dealing with the eclipse and the South Node is conjunct. So we are looking at the shadow side of Leo. But the approval attachment is very Leo-esque. The need for recognition or validation or admiration or wanting to be included is like a drug to shadow Leo. But what this has caused is your inability to take opportunities or move forward in some way or to act on your desires, your creativity, or to initiate certain things. It's completely blocked you from that. It's kept you stuck in a place where you have been at odds with other people, or you have been in disagreement with other people because of really what you would like to do, but what they would expect of you or what they would want you to do. You have that. And again, this doesn't read as pressure from them. If anything, if it does read as pressure, it's more like peer pressure. You know they have an expectation, or they see you in a certain way and you love the way that they see you. It is a drug that people see you in a certain light. And so you make decisions against your own good because it feels good for them to see you in that light. It's like it's a cycle of self-perpetuating wound, if I can call it that. You know, we've got the Two of Swords and the Ace of Wands here, clarifying the Nine of Cups. Your need for approval, that drug of feeling good about how others see you, has kept you stuck, has kept you locked away from actually what you really want to do. And you've not been able to see a way out of it. That approval attachment, that is ending. Okay. So looking at relationships, your values and discernment, that is something as well that is being brought to light during this total solar new moon eclipse in Leo. And really there's this struggle between fantasy versus reality and the new boundaries and standards that you need to establish. Now, when we talk about fantasy versus reality, we're really looking at what relationship or expectation or possibility must you see more clearly? Must you see for what it really is? What about it do you need to see more clearly? Because there's an incongruence here between what you feel authentically and the decisions that you make. And there's this, for some of you, collective, there's this feeling that the decision that you make, regardless of whether it's for you, for approval, for others, there's this fantasy where you feel like you will be able to have it all. And even though you're making decisions against your own betterment, you'll get to where you're going anyway, you know? It's the energy of, yes, I'll achieve all my goals, but I don't need to make any changes with myself. That fantasy is changing and it's moving towards a more realistic mindset with this eclipse, okay? What you need to get to grips with and what you will be getting to grips with is actually you can't get to where you're going without making a choice that completely destroys a reality that you've been holding or a mindset that you've been holding. I've got the Death card here. The thing that you need to get to grips with, that something needs to end. Dead, done, over with. Okay. And when I clarified that, I got the Tower card and the Two of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I don't mean to laugh, especially if this is something difficult that you're going to be dealing with, which I believe it will be in some aspects. But there is going to be this realization, like I said, it could come via a difficult situation and some kind of upheaval, but it's a complete override of your mindset that's going to come through this Tower moment, this realization, this absolute upheaval, this stormy energy. It's going to come through that. And you're going to realize, I can't actually get what I want without ending this, without ending who I've been, the decisions that I've made before, the person that I'm no longer in alignment with. I can't get to what I want, this Ten of Pentacles, without making a decision that is actually in alignment with me. I cannot continue to make decisions that are misaligned with who I am at my core and expect to get where I'm going. That is coming to light here with the new reality that you'll be stepping into, with this ego death that you'll be accepting. Okay. And now the boundary or the standard that you must strengthen to protect your self-worth. This is coming up as well because there's worth here. It's not the strongest energy, but there is something here about self-worth and not believing that you are worthy of whatever it is that you want at your core, the authentic thing, the thing that makes you truly happy. There's something here about you not believing that you are worthy of that. And to strengthen that, there is this energy here around you needing to really understand what it is that makes you happy. Also understanding that the offers that you receive or the offers that you give in life, whatever that area of life we're talking about, they need to be consistent with what makes you happy. They need to be consistent with your higher self and with who you are becoming or who you have become. The offers that you make and the offers that you accept need to be in alignment. You can't have one if you're not giving the other. And there is so much about this reading that is asking you to let go of something, to let something better come in, to burn something down to ashes so you can actually make space for a new ignition. And that is the value and the boundary that you are being asked to strengthen to protect your self-worth. Have you been accepting offers or accepting situations, experiences, relationships, jobs, people, giving the bare minimum? Have you been doing that? Because this reading is saying that you need to get more congruent with what you've been accepting and what it is you actually want. You need to strengthen this to protect your worth, to protect who you say you are or protect who you are becoming. You are becoming someone with more depth, with more layers. You are becoming someone who is more experienced in life. Okay. And that is going to play a part on how this is catalytic in your next step. Okay. Then we've got, what are we rewriting in your internal story? There's something here about an outdated narrative, which was really difficult to read, but I'll explain it. This is something that is outdated, okay? This is the part of the spread where we're talking about the narrative that you need to release because it's no longer applicable. And it's a belief about who you are or who you've been saying you are, and also about what you deserve or what you must prove no longer belongs in your story. And I got the Magician card and I thought, is this somebody who thinks they're cocky? Like they've got all the tools and they can make it happen whenever they want? And no, I clarified this and I got the King and the Queen of Cups that came out together, and then clarifying that I got the Lover's card. So for some of you, this could be a specific relationship that is outdated. Okay. It served its purpose. It's no longer a part of your story. But for others of you, if this is not a particular relationship that was soulmate connection, could be something that was once aligned and no longer is. If it's not that, this is letting go of the idea that you have it together and that you're in alignment with somebody who is the person that you said that you wanted to be with, the person that has always been there and supported you emotionally, the person who you made a very aligned decision about and you were on an aligned path. And so that in and of itself has felt like a justification to stay. But there's something about this where you know in that situation that actually that is outdated. It's not that it was a lie. It was true once upon a time, but it's no longer relevant now. There's something about this that no longer belongs in your story. And for some of you, what I got is there's something about this connection where this is not the be all and end all of you. This connection is not it for you. There's something here about you needing to be brave enough to lean into a more grounded energy, a more reliable energy, a more committed energy. And I don't mean committed in a relationship, I mean in your life, to alchemize the things that you've learned from this connection or whatever this was for you, alchemize that into something that is helpful to the collective. That's a bigger story and more specific. For a lot of you, this King of Queen of Cups with the Lover's card, this is something that is outdated in and of itself. This was purposeful, but there is more about that you now need to use to further your path and also to help the collective. Okay. It was purposeful for the knowledge that you learned from it. And now you need to be brave enough to use that knowledge and share it with the collective. So it's an outdated narrative. It needs to be adjusted. You need to see the purpose of it in a different way, from a different perspective. Okay. The truth that is being revealed around your internal story, this could be around hidden emotions or suppressed truths or unresolved experiences, that is being revealed and it's coming to the surface. And that is the King of Wands reversed. I was waiting for Leo to show up in the tarot. It's shown up in all the oracle cards, but not in the tarot, finally. And naturally, it's come out reversed, which is Shadow Leo energy. The truth that is being revealed to you and what you have been suppressing, what you've been hiding, is that actually you, for a long time, have been investing in the wrong space. That doesn't mean that the space that you were in didn't serve a purpose. It absolutely did, always, but it's outdated now. And there is a realization that you will be coming into understanding with, is that it's no longer the right place to continue seeding opportunities or seeding new things. It's done its part. You also need to come to the realization, and will be coming to the realization, that actually you didn't know it all. You didn't know it all. You didn't have the answers. You are not perfect. You made mistakes. You are allowed to make mistakes as well, which is something that I feel like you're going to be coming into realization about and having a lot more compassion for yourself. And this is going to be a hard realization in that Leo area of your chart for you to understand and to conceptualize. But I feel like it's going to hit hardest with Leo suns, Leo risings, and Leo moons. Honestly, it's crazy energy. So let's get into hopeful energy. The North Node path. What is your place within the collective, and where is all this going? Because we've got this situation that is playing out and it's catalytic in regards to getting you to somewhere that you are destined to be, a fated path. Okay, it's a karmic, this is all a karmic alignment. We've got the karmic path card that came out. So this is, directly about you moving towards a more healed Leo, okay, or Leo energy. And what we've got for that is the King of Pentacles. So it finally came out in the main deck, the first deck that I used. And clarifying the King of Pentacles, we've got the Chariot card and the Hierophant. Listen, it's what I said before. You are meant to use your experience. And for a lot of you, just because we had the King and the Queen of Cups and the Lover's card, this will be around relationships. This could be about soulmates specifically. This could also be around fated or destined choices, life-changing choices. This will be around emotions as well. The mastering of emotions, the leaning into vulnerability. I feel like it's a lot around this. So a lot of you with the King of Pentacles are being asked to use your experience for the collective. The Chariot card, this is power to purpose. This is how you overcame something, how your determination, your willpower, your drive got you to where you needed to be. The Hierophant, the teacher, the mentor, the coach, the whatever, the leader. You are being asked to become a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a leader, somebody who has an authoritative voice in that area of your life that was so important and so aligned and absolutely served a purpose to equip you with the Magician card, all the tools that you need in that area, from that relationship, all the things that you learned. This is the fated path for you to become a mentor, a teacher, a guide, something, an authority in that area of your life. The King of Pentacles is here, and it did come out twice when I clarified, and also, like I said, with the original deck. And so for some of you, this could be related to the Chiron transit that is moving through Taurus as well. And if you want to know more about that, check out a video that I will be releasing probably next week about Chiron. But I've also done a tarot reading on Chiron as well that is over on my Instagram. So if you want to know more about that, also on my Substack as well, I wrote about the money wound in Chiron. FYI, for some of you, I forgot to mention, this stormy upheaval, this catalytic thing could be around money. It could be around your understanding that actually you need to just cut ties with something, which is going to mean a loss of money or a loss of investment, a loss of resources. But it's your understanding that you'll be coming into that the only way to move forward is to make that decision. So anyway, side note. But yes, a lot of you will be become very wealthy off this, possibly, or just an authority, somebody who is, you know, a boss in that area, literally a boss, a leader or whatever. And then for the North Node path, what authentic desire, creative gift, or natural expression is ready to emerge once the performance ends? Okay, this is where I was just like super like loved it. It's the Queen of Cups. There's this integration of the masculine and feminine energy within you. We all have both energies, okay? So earlier when I was talking about a relationship you may have gone through, that's taught you some lessons. For some of you it is, but for others of you, this is an integration of the masculine and the feminine within you. This is beautiful. So with the Queen of Cups, this is somebody who leads with their heart, who chooses what is authentic to them and to what it is that they want. This is somebody who is intuitive. This is someone who is empathic. This is somebody who has clarified by the King of Pentacles here again, and the Justice reversed, is pursuing this path of the Queen of Cups with Justice reversed. They have been denying themselves far too long. You are being asked to step into your authentic desire, Queen of Cups, and to stop denying yourself. Your natural expression or creative gift is the King of Pentacles, the leader, the teacher, the mentor, the guide, the expert, the boss, in whatever area it is that you have gained your experience in. Okay. You have finally alchemized or united the masculine and feminine energies of yourself. You've healed in that regard. And it's something that you can now take forward with experience and expertise. By the way, the Oracle cards, I will put the picture up. At the bottom of both Oracle decks, 2 of the 4 that I used, at the bottom of one is the Phoenix, death and rebirth, which is ultimately the ego death and the transformation that we go through ego death to be transformed into our new self. And the other Oracle deck at the bottom of that was the 8th house, endings and beginnings, which is the same thing. It's the same energy, death, rebirth, transformation. So that is what is happening through this process. There is some kind of transformation that is happening. Now, with the rebirth, the commitment forward, what practical action will help you build your next chapter with maturity, consistency, and purpose? The card that I got was the Devil card. Now, I was like, what? But come to clarify. The Devil card clarified by the 7 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Cups, and the Star card clarifying the Ace of Pentacles reversed. The commitment forward, the practical action is you not being afraid to choose yourself, not being attached to trying to have the answers, not being attached to the opportunity that you think you're going to get or think that you should get. You know, what's going to yield an opportunity and what's going to be the biggest, the best, the whatever. Not being obsessed, attached, and wrapping yourself in overthinking and being attached to outcomes. Okay. I also believe not being attached to, you know, when you have your heart set on something and you do everything right and then you're like, right, there's just no way I'm not going to get that offer. There's no way that this isn't going to work out. And then it doesn't work out. This is you not being attached, obsessed, or trapped by the outcome. You know, if an opportunity passes you by, it's not meant for you. Okay? because what we've got clarifying the Ace of Pentacles reverse is the Page of Cups and the Star. This is somebody who looks at something that they didn't receive or they didn't get, and instead of going into that devil energy, the overthinking, the obsession, the self-doubt, the I'm not good enough, I'm this, I'm that, and whatever it is, instead of going into that because you didn't get an opportunity and trying to anticipate whether you're going to get an opportunity, you're thinking, right, it passed me by. That was never for me. Actually, I'm being redirected. Actually, this is working out in my favor. Actually, I'm being realigned. Page of Cups, the Star card. Okay. You're looking at it as more of an opportunity instead of something that has limited you, something that you haven't received, haven't got. You're not letting it define who you are. You're not letting it define your mindset, the next steps that you take. You're not letting it affect how you feel when it comes to your self-validation. You're not doing things and making decisions and trying to anticipate the outcomes because you are seeking validation from other people or you're seeking approval from other people. You are letting things go, including the overthinking and trying to anticipate the best outcome, and not wrapping yourself up in loops when things don't go the way you're wanting them to go. You are understanding that you are being divinely aligned and divinely redirected. Okay. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. But if you enjoy this type of content, like, share and subscribe, or like, share and follow, depending on what platform you're listening to this on. And also check out my Substack that will be out following this reading. That goes a little bit more in depth into the energy of the collective within this new moon's total solar eclipse in Leo transit and what it's really asking us to look at, to release and to allow in. Okay, guys, until next time.